Hey geeks, Modson here with today's episode of Star Trek, Season 2, Episode 19, Immunity Syndrome. This episode did not do it for me. So I've kind of complained about how it seems like every other episode we had like a godlike entity. And while that was a plot point that they did over and over again, at least it was kind of interesting because we got to see different aliens. This episode kind of had another reoccurring theme, but it was more of like there's a giant thing out in space that we don't know what it is, but since we don't like it, we're going to destroy it. In fact, like the last episode, Obsession, was kind of this way. It was a giant space cloud that smelled like honey, and this is basically, it's a giant amoeba. It's a single-cell organism, and they think that it's trying to split into two, and so they got to stop it because it's so large. It's also kind of like the Doomsday Machine. It's just a giant planet-eating machine that they destroy. Now, if we could have gone back and seen like who created this stuff or where did it come from, that would be more interesting to me. But just overall, this particular type, like, it doesn't deserve a 50-minute episode. It's such a small plot. I did think it was kind of funny or interesting. They bring up the Intrepid, which is, I guess, a Vulcan-ran ship. And we don't really see it, and we don't know anybody who's on it, and they all die. But it's just kind of an interesting, like, it's almost like a MacGuffin. They just kind of mention how it happened. And it kind of had like a Star Wars joke in there, which actually this episode came out in 1968, and Star Wars came out in 1977. But the Intrepid ends up exploding or being eaten by this amoeba, and Spock just knows that all of these 400 Vulcans were suddenly silenced all at once. And it just kind of made me laugh because you can kind of see where Star Wars took that. Yeah, overall, the episode in itself just didn't do it for me. It was really slow. It was really boring. It's just a giant thing, and we don't understand it, so we're going to kill it. Like I said, I wish they would have gone more behind it, but oh well. Tomorrow's episode is a piece of action, and it is the 20th episode of the season, so that's a big thing. But yeah, overall for this one, Immunity Syndrome, have you guys seen it? What did you think? Am I wrong? Am I out in left field that it's just kind of a boring plot that they keep bringing back over and over again? Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow.